So, have you ever felt like men and women are just speaking completely different languages?
Oh, absolutely. It's like we're from different planets or something.
Exactly. Actually, that reminds me of John Gray's book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. It's all about that concept.
Right, I've heard of that book. So, what's the main idea behind it?
Well, Gray suggests that men and women have fundamentally different ways of thinking, feeling, and communicating. It's like we're from Mars and Venus, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding these differences can improve our relationships significantly.
Yeah, but do you think those stereotypes still hold up today?
I think there's still some truth to it. For example, Gray talks about how men tend to retreat to their caves when stressed, while women want to talk things out. It's not about
Right.
stereotypes, but about general tendencies.
So men need space and women need connection during tough times?
Exactly. And when we don't understand that, it leads to unnecessary friction.
Yeah,
Like, a woman might feel ignored when a man pulls away, but he's just coping in his own way.
that makes sense, but can't that lead to miscommunication?
Totally. That's why Gray emphasizes the importance of understanding and respecting these differences. Instead
Yeah,
of trying to change our partners, we should adapt our approach.
so it's about acceptance then?
Yes. For instance, when a woman wants to talk about her day,
Mm-hmm.
a man might offer solutions instead of just listening. But what she really wants is empathy.
Oh, I've been guilty of that. Trying to fix things instead of just being there.
Right. And Gray calls this the Mr. Fix-It syndrome. Men feel helpful by fixing, but women often feel unheard.
So what's the alternative then?
Listening without immediately jumping in with solutions. Just
Okay,
being present and acknowledging her feelings can make a huge difference.
I see. But what about when men go into their caves? How should women respond?
Great question. Gray suggests that women should give men the space they
Right.
need and not take it personally. It's not a withdrawal of love, but a way to deal with stress.
That's interesting. But isn't it hard not to feel rejected when someone pulls away?
It can be, but understanding the intention helps.
Yeah.
Men resurface once they've processed things, and then they're more available emotionally.
It's like stretching a rubber band, pulling away to come back.
Exactly. That's one of Gray's analogies. Men are like rubber bands. They need to stretch before they can reconnect.
And women? How does he describe them?
Women are like waves. Their self-esteem rises and falls like a wave. When they're feeling good, they can give love. But when they're down, they need support to rise again.
So during those low points, what should men do?
Be there for her, listen, and not try to fix her feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Just offer support and understanding.
It's fascinating how these metaphors explain so much about relationships.
Absolutely. And Gray also talks about how we have different emotional needs.
Oh,
Like, men primarily need trust, acceptance, appreciation, admiration, approval, and encouragement.
and women?
Women need caring, understanding, respect, devotion, validation, and reassurance. So when these needs aren't met, conflicts arise.
That makes sense. So if we can identify and meet these needs, relationships improve?
Exactly. It's about giving love in the way your partner can receive it, not
Right.
just how we want to give it.
But what if someone feels like they're giving and not receiving?
That's where open communication comes in. Discussing these needs openly can help both partners understand each other better.
It's like learning a new language, really.
Yes, we're essentially learning to communicate with someone from another planet. It takes
Yeah.
patience and practice.
Do you think these concepts still apply today, though?
I believe so. While society has evolved, fundamental emotional needs remain similar,
Mm-hmm.
but it's important to adapt and not stereotype.
Definitely. It's about understanding, not labeling.
Exactly. And Gray emphasizes that we shouldn't try to change our partners, but support them.
So next time there's a conflict, we should consider these differences?
Yes. And approach the situation with empathy and
Right.
openness. It can prevent arguments from escalating.
Speaking of arguments, Gray mentions the importance of avoiding them constructively, right?
Yes, he suggests that understanding and respecting each other's emotional needs can prevent arguments altogether.
It's all about communication styles then.
Precisely. For instance, men might unknowingly invalidate women's feelings, while women might unknowingly send messages of disapproval.
So being aware of that can help us communicate more effectively.
Absolutely. By adjusting our approach, we can support each other better.
This has been really enlightening.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah,
It's all about bridging that interplanetary gap in our relationships.
haha, maybe we're not so different after all.
Maybe not. With a little understanding, we can make relationships work beautifully.
Well, here's to better communication and happier relationships.
Cheers to that.